Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 60 of the Casual Weebs podcast. This week was incredible. Incredible. We had a bunch of animes that dropped like really good episodes, but I think the one that was just by far the best for so many reasons was 2B Hero X. What an absolute cinematic masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece. First of all, Moon has been getting done dirty every chance that they every single episode they have just found a way to just fuck Moon over, and it's just so bad. And now she finally had her JJK moment, and it's honestly it's a little devastating, but I feel like we gotta just get into that. I feel like we gotta talk about 2B Hero X. It was absolutely phenomenal, one of the best. We got to talk about Fire Force. Unfortunately, Fire Force is back to its roots. You know what I mean? We were
Bro, thank you. I didn't even have to say it. Thank you. Spot on, brother.
Bro, we gave it so much praise last week too. We're like, dude, Tamaki's evolving, and then it's like actually the entire crew loses their pants. It's like, bro, like, what are we doing?
They almost had it. I was dying when he's like, "Yeah, we all get butt naked for the calendar every year, and you don't live here, but it sells extremely well." I'm like, all right, so this is a thing.
We got to get into it. We got to get into it. And we also got to get into Windbreaker, because again, something that we talked about last week is then focuses on this week's episode. So there's so much to get into. Let's start with 2B Hero X. Just absolutely incredible. 2B OP1 officially added to the playlist. Been on repeat all day. I am absolutely loving everything about 2B Hero X. And one of the many things that it done well, the what's it called? Fight was perfect. It was so good because it had a depth to it. It wasn't just, okay, flashy animation, two people going at it, it looks sick, we're enjoying ourselves, it's great. It had a storyline, you know what I mean? Because first of all, we kept talking about how it's a really cool aspect of how the fans are able to kind of like dictate things that go on. They're able to make you strong or weak based on how many people believe in you, but also dictate what you're able to do. And they didn't want him to go save Moon. So he literally could not leave. And I'm like, dude, that is bullshit. Why would you want to be a hero? Like, that sucks. The fact that they can just dictate whatever and you, like, have to, like, oblige. Like, you're, like, physically bound to it. So the fact that he was able to, like, be like, nah, I'm not nice anymore. I'm not nice anymore. And he was just like, I'm gone. And he leaves, right? Starts fighting. And then we have this whole, like, I don't know, like this whole build-up throughout the whole fight. We have him getting his ass beat because now he's just a basic human being. He's a nobody, as he puts, right? And people are like, wait, he actually cares about Moon. Like, and they actually like start to like fall in love with the actual person, you know what I mean? Instead of just the persona of being, nice, the number 10 hero. And they start believing in him. And then you start to see him like start to get stronger and start to kick some ass. And I'm like, bro, like this was like it was a fight that sucked you in and dragged you for the whole episode, and it was perfect. It was so good and so intriguing.
I mean, just to get the easy shit out of the way, like very fluid, really crisp fights. Like, there's no at any point in this episode did it like kind of reel back or like have like cheap animation. Like the whole thing was super fluid and crisp. Very easy to watch something that's done that well.
Yeah.
But what you said about it having a storyline and like emotional and character depth, really, really good. And they've kind of done this with each episode. Like, there's a lot of emotional investment for something that's only got, like, what, 4 episodes? I'm, like, really, really impressed. And we did touch on it, I think, a week or two ago. The one hero who Nice kind of swapped spots with in the top 10, his powers, keep him from doing, like, basic things and sitting down and laying down and stuff. So you're right. This episode kind of went a step further with that. And you can see how Nice can't save Moon and, like, physically he's not allowed to because of how the fans feel. So I thought that was really cool, but also how like the villain in Lighter, that was like a pretty good strategy. Like my man almost caught the dub there, but like we've said this a couple times how like the heroes and villains, it's not always so straightforward in anime. Like I thought it was really solid, but I had to pull it up. I was typing that MC's name because we can't call him Nice anymore, but Lin Ling, he does a really good job of like you said, showing that he cares for Moon, and that resonated with people. So he does end up getting some power because my boy was getting packed up in the beginning.
Yeah, I love how like we just watch too much anime and we're dumbasses and we can never remember his name, but it became like a symbolic thing where it was like, no, you're never Lin Ling, bro. You're just nice, right? You're now nice. That's all we're gonna acknowledge you as. But now it's like,
Yeah.
guys, we have to acknowledge him. Nice is dead. He's gone. Lin Ling is here to stay, baby. We are fans. He is our number 10 hero. Are you kidding me? So I thought that was. I was really thinking that as we were watching. I'm like, we can't call him nice anymore. We actually have to learn his name. Like he's earned it. You know what I mean? Like he's that guy now. So I thought that was like such a symbolic and funny fucking thing. But like I'm all for it. And like it was absolutely incredible because we've talked about it with like other animes where it's like, okay, like something we recently, well, I caught up on Bleach, right? We ended up making the video because you've been following it and you've been like, dude, you gotta watch Bleach. It's absolutely insane. And I'm like, I did, and it was fucking phenomenal. And one of the things we talked about in the video, like, are breaking it down or giving our reactions to Bleach, is that what we really liked was how Ichigo, you know, doesn't just focus on one thing to get stronger. It's not like, okay, I'm just gonna improve my Bankai every 5 seconds, and that's how I'm gonna, you know, just keep beating opponents with my one trick move. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, it's cool. He actually like works on like different aspects, you know, of his fighting. And we thought that was a really cool thing, and that's what I think like made this fight so cool, was that it wasn't like he fought, got his ass kicked, left for a training arc, came back, and then just won. We saw the evolution, we saw the growing, the training, the getting stronger as the fight went on, as the fight evolved. You know what I mean? We saw him kind of like learn new things, and then be able to like, first of all, also get stronger because people were like, yo, we're falling in love with this guy. This guy's awesome. Like, what an absolute great human being. You know what I mean? The way he's just trying his all, even though he has no power and, you know, doesn't stand a chance. But seeing him kind of like in the beginning get his ass kicked, be weak, be beaten down, and then start to get a little bit better, start to fight back, you know, start to outsmart him a little bit, the way he headbutts him. That was just fucking incredible. Because it wasn't like he got stronger because people were believing in him. He's like, the other guy got a little too cocky, got a little too close, and just took a headbutt to the fucking forehead, shattered the glasses, and then people were like, oh, like, he can do this. Like, he actually, like, cares about her, right? And then just get stronger and then just have that like, beautiful moment at the end. And I like the animation style of how it kept switching in and out of, like, the kind of cartoon-like-esque, you know, aspects of the fight, and how it kind of went and switched that kind of, like, art style, you know, as he got, like, super strong, he started beating the fuck out of this guy. Dude, the fight, I think fights like that are so hard to do because they're like so involved and they take a lot of work, and it's like, again, difficult to do, but incredible. Like, they pulled it off, and it was such an, like, I was hooked, like, at the edge of my seat. Like, it was so good. Fights like that are goated, and they did it so well.
Yeah, and like I think you're exactly right. It's kind of hard to mix styles and make something that, you know, incredible, especially like week to week because of how much work it takes. But they did a really good job of, I mean, in one, like capturing the essence of like the power system they're using for this anime with the whole like doubt and trust thing with the public. I thought that was like flawlessly executed this episode. With the art styles, it's kind of like, you know, you have like superheroes and villains and stuff. It's in a way gives you like Marvel vibes, and they did that well. Like it kind of feels like comic or like cartoonish at times, but then also like, you know, like a straight up shonen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like regular anime fights where it's real crisp. You have like long fight scenes. So I think, yeah, getting both sides of that just shows you, you know, 4 episodes in how deep this anime already is. It seems like they put a ton of time into it, like prior to release. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it came down to the wire or it was like a rush project or anything. So as a fan, and like, you know, this wasn't really even on our radar. I think coming into this season, it's just absolutely been awesome, and I think it makes it even more enjoyable for that reason.
Yeah, I feel like this wasn't on really anybody's radar. It was like, it came in like so slept on, so like under lock and key, and then has just made the largest splash ever out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of animes that have like premiered over the past several years that like were solid. You know what I mean? But they all had hype coming into it. You know what I mean? Like this is something that people are gonna remember all throughout the year, especially with it having possibly 24 episodes, which is absolutely insane. And what I'm hearing about this as well is that I like heard like rumors that they dropped, okay, here's the episode orders, and like here's kind of what's happening. Apparently the different episodes are going to focus on different characters, right? Well, apparently not every character is getting the same amount of episodes. So I think Nice was going to have like either like 4 to 6, so we actually could be done with him now. But like some characters are only getting 1. Like, for example, the apparently season finale, the episode 24, is going to be hero number one, and he's getting one episode. And that's how they're ending the first season. And I'm like, yo, like,
Ow.
the way that you were saying, they probably put a ton of time into this before it, and you can tell that they put so much thought and work into the whole process. Like, they they're reaping the rewards because it is phenomenal start, one of the best starts in a while, and I'm really excited to see how they execute in the rest of the season. Like, this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, dude, we're locked in. I'm really excited to see like kind of the new characters they
Mm-hmm.
introduce and what people's powers are because I feel like it's been really unique so far. It's not, like super cut and dry, which
Yeah.
is cool. The fact that it might have 24 episodes, I think, is awesome. Because going back to your point, like you had Kaiju, you had Dan. Trying to think what else premiered. I mean, there was like a bunch of like really big premieres last year and the year before, right? But they all had like very big mangas or are literally like, Shonen Jump weekly mangas that
Mm-hmm.
have a ton of hype. So like, not to knock that or say it's not justified, but like you had already had like an established fan base where To Be Hero X is, like you said, just making a splash out of the blue and like just the results of like really good work and good writing and cool characters is doing it for you. So I hope like especially as it bleeds into summer, which is like another super packed season, people stick with it and it gets a season two and like becomes a mainstay in the community because it's been done phenomenally. But I think kind of a lot of that will depend on how they roll out some of these other heroes and characters and all that stuff, how the plot goes. But I mean, we've already had like crazy cliffhangers. There's no reason for me to believe this season will not absolutely deliver. And especially if you get to that midway point, you can kind of see maybe where they're going with it, for
Mm-hmm.
like the second half of the season. So I'm really hyped to see how they kind of shape it up and like the pace they have for this 24 episodes, if it is that much.
Yeah, and it would be incredible. And too, the thing is that like what premieres we have last year? Well, every Anime of the Year nominee: Apothecary Diaries, Frieren, Solo Leveling. Like,
Solo
yeah,
leveling.
there are
I
so
was just
many.
totally forgot about
Well,
that.
because
Fucking
we're getting
idiot.
second seasons now, you kind of forget. Like, oh wait, shit, that just premiered. Like, thinking that
And
Frieren
like
just premiered is absolutely insane. You know what I
and
mean?
having animes like they never did this as a
Mm,
as an OG, like early 2000s guy. They never you would have to wait like fucking years for a new season of Naruto or the next arc. You know what I mean? We're
yeah.
getting like 12 to 24 episodes and then another 12 in like a year or in like 6 7 months in some of these other cases like Dan and Sakamoto days, which is really sick as a fan.
Oh yeah, Sakuma is another one. Like that's the thing too. Like, were premieres ever this hot? Always, because like I said, every Anime of the Year nominee last year was a premiere. You know what I mean? It wasn't an anime that came back with a new season. Like, I feel like any anime that drops now, it's gold. It just brings itself up to that level. So To Be Hero X is absolutely killing it. And I mean, what's up with these cliffhangers? Absolutely insane. Like another one again with Moon, where I literally wrote down, okay, Moon is stranded. Right at the end of the episode, we see that Moon fucked up. She actually did not want to. She wanted a vacation, not to be stranded on an island with no one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, bro, I feel like so bad for her. Like, she just got fucked. I'm like, all right, Moon is stranded. And then, he pops out of the portal. I'm like, oh. And I remember then found, right? And I'm like, this is great. Like, wow. Like, he's going to rescue her. She's going to come back, right? Because that was a whole twist at the end where, like, it was a dummy. You know what I mean? It wasn't actually her. It was like a mannequin. So now, like, she's going to be coming back into the picture, it seems like. Maybe they're going to be together. Like, that's awesome. I love the relationship and just start dynamic. Even if they don't end up, like, dating or something, like, them being friends is awesome, right? And then I'm like, then dead. Then dead? Question mark. Like she had her JJK moment where it was like she's kind of sitting. It's like, oh my god, like you came and then boom, shot in the head, and it's like, can she have happiness? And also, what are these endings? Like, what are you talking about? You can't end there again, bro. Like, you need to explain. Like, what the fuck?
And then especially because we got that at the end of episode 1, like that
Mm-hmm.
crazy intro episode, like she was laying there in the bed, but then we kind of find out like nothing really came of that, or she wasn't actually like, shot in the head on the bed. Like maybe it'll come back into play later or like coming up, but it's tough to know like is it legit? Yeah, is she really dead this time? Or they just faking it? So I'm definitely with you, but it still remains to be seen. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% believing that she got capped.
I have theories. Okay, I have theories. So I don't know if I'm onto something or if I'm not. But did anything about that look a little similar to you? In my opinion, at the end of this episode, when she was shot in the head, right? She's on the ground. She was in the same position, the blood looked the same, and she was wearing the same clothes at the end of episode 1. What if our guy is special? What if what we saw at the end of episode 1 was this? Was this exact moment? He was able to kind of see ahead and kind of see her fate, right? And I want to know if that's going to, like, if we're going to see other examples of that, or if we saw other examples of that, but we just didn't notice it. Because, like, we saw her on the bed, there's blood everywhere, it looked like her head was bashed, like, it was absolutely insane. But now it makes sense, because before it was just like he kind of saw her and was like, oh wait, what the fuck is this? It kind of like, it was like a glance, you know what I mean? But this, like, she got shot. You know what I mean? Like, she could possibly be alive still, but she got shot. What I'm wondering, though, is that, like, that's way too similar. Like I said, the position that her body was in, the way that the blood was the same on her face and same on the ground. Like, there has to be something up with that where I think that that's the dot. Because we even brought up, like, with episode 2, we're like, why didn't you explain anything about that? Why did you show that, have that massive cliffhanger, and then pretend like it never happened? Alright, I feel like we finally got that other piece that's going to connect it, and then everything's going to make sense. I feel like it's like a hidden power of his.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be like them bringing it back to allude to him being like clairvoyant or whatever. Like that's Lin Ling's power now that he's not nice. I'm assuming basically another reference to episode 1, like to be Hero X, that's gonna be his like hero name, Hero X or whatever. So he would have like a different set of or different powers than nice, you know what I mean? But yeah, that would be crazy. That would be a really good like writing device, I think, to like, yeah, you're like, what the hell was that cliffhanger? And then you like totally don't go back to it. But then yeah, 3 episodes later they do. So that would be really sick. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like kind of how they fit that in and resolve that.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. I mean, it's got me locked in. Like To Be Hero X has got me locked in. To me, it's the anime of this season. Like, by far. It's so good. It's so engaging. So I'm super excited about that. And did you actually hear about it? So Billy, they're the ones animating it, right?
Yeah.
You want to know something really cool? I didn't double check to see if this is true. I kind of saw like a short about it. Apparently, you can go to their website and you can actually vote on your favorite hero. So they took an aspect of the anime and made it real. So
I'm gonna go look. That's really sick.
so just like how in 2B Hero X, you can have like a favorites of who's your favorite hero and who's the most popular, and based on how popular they are, the stronger they are, and that's something we've been talking about. So apparently they made that so like it's real. That's not going to affect the anime at any point. You know what I mean? It's not gonna have any impact on it, but it's something where like people can just kind of like vote who their favorite is, and as each episode drops, it changes because people then find new favorites. And of course, at the end of episode 3, I feel like I think Nice ended up being the #1 hero, of course, because you know he's the only one we followed. He's our favorite now. So I'm really really excited to like look into that. Maybe that's something where we have to look it up, see if it is real, kind of the extent of it, and then start following that each and every week, because now we're going to start getting into other episodes where we focus on other characters. So now, of course, yeah, Knights is, of course, going to be the #1 hero that everyone votes for. He's the only fucking hero, really, that we've seen. But as we get through the season and we start meeting everybody else, it's going to be really interesting to see who wins that popularity contest. Because there are some very, very sick characters coming up. I've seen a lot of the designs, and, like, yo, this anime is something. So that might be something we have to like follow along with.
That would be really sick. And like anything, I mean, it's usually video games, but anything you can incorporate to like keep engaging people and like, yeah, you watch the anime, you go vote on like who your favorite hero is. I think that's really sick. My only thing is I hope like the content's not restricted, because I don't know if like since it's like hosted in China, would you be able to vote on that and watch that here?
I hope so. I hope so.
I would imagine.
We'll look it up. We'll get back to you guys. We're gonna figure it out. All right.
I hope so. That would be really sick. That would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then we can just like follow along, and then it's gonna be cool to see like who ends up kind of winning. Is it nice? Because that's the thing too. Is he gonna be gone? You know what I mean? Or is he gonna end up kind of like still be a part of the story, even though the episode doesn't focus purely on him? Because I mean, we have other heroes in these episodes. You know what I mean? Even though they aren't the center of attention. So I'm really excited and interested to see like, is he going to be a part of the story still and someone that's around? But yeah, I feel like if we have to sum up this anime in one word, it's engaging. That 100% sums it up. You're just so locked in when you watch it. You're so like involved in it. You're engaged with it. I mean, with the voting, like it's something. It's something special. But what also something special is a Fire Force, especially this week. We are back to the degenerate shit. What a mess, dude. I will say this. we gave Tamaki props because, like, she's the one and only annoying thing about Fire Force of how, like, she's randomly just somehow, like, I don't even know, like, missing her clothes, right? Like how? Like, there's some badass fight going on. It's so sick. You're like, oh my god, this is incredible. And then there's Tamaki, and it's like, bro, like, the fuck are you doing? So the fact that everyone like had like lost their pants, this episode, I thought was really funny because the lieutenant to do with the glasses, bro, everyone's just like, oh, I'm like embarrassed, and he's just sitting there, like just
No hesitation.
tall and proud. He's like, I'm ready. Like, bro's been waiting for this.
Dude, I was dying. And then the comment about the nude calendar, I'm like, so Squad 8's just, they're cool with it. But yeah, like I will say they did a good job of making Tamaki like kind of like catch up to Arthur and Shinra in terms of like being valid in battle. And even in this fight, like she's done a good job. And like other than the fact that she always has like her jacket open, like all right, I can rock with the belt thing. Like how Gold uses the belt to like pull them and like put them in uncomfortable positions. I'm like, that's valid. You know what I mean? Everybody like drops their pants because of that. It's like, all right, at least it's not just straight like shitty fan service. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing I like about Tamaki is that they're getting her away from just pure fan service. You know what I mean? Like they're actually getting her to a real character. Because that's something I've always thought she was a really cool character. Like she seems like if it was a video game, her playstyle would be sick. You know what I mean? She's that super fast, highly like movable like character that is just a beast. But like she says, she lacks in damage, right? And she never like took it seriously because she's also just been focused on fan service, and that is it, right? So the fact that they're actually like, okay, let's have her like train now. Let's have her actually like be interested in getting stronger, right? And she kind of had her training arc, and it's like, okay, well she can move a lot better now, but she's still weak. It's like, okay, tech, let's get that going, right? So she has the firepower. I like how they're not just being like, okay, if there's a fight, Tamaki's fans are. It's like, oh no, Tamaki's gonna fuck somebody up at some point. You know what I mean? Tamaki's gonna like be serious. Like she's gonna lock in at some point, and have some sick fight, and it's gonna be amazing, and we're all here for it. And that is the cool thing is that even like they lost their pants, it didn't feel super fan servicey, which is like better. Because that's my one and only thing I hate about Fire Force. It's like, dude, just get away from it. And to be fair, Soul Eater is from the same universe and it's kind of the same way. So like, I feel like it's unfair that people bash on Fire Force for that, but not Soul Eater, because there's that one cat, like, she's not a witch, but this cat woman, low key worse than Tamaki. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So you gotta be even with it. So I like how they're kind of getting away from it. It is really cool, but to kind of, disagree with you here. You said she's catching up to Shinra and Arthur. The end of that episode.
She said she was trying to. She said she was trying to, and everyone's like, yeah, well, nobody's Shinra and Arthur. But yeah.
Bro, when Arthur pulled up, I got confused for a second. Because, okay, first of all, my bad. Got a little ahead of myself. Got a little too excited. The gold check was sick. I mean, going back to what you're saying about the whole calendar, I thought that was funny because her whole thing is money. She's greedy, right? So when he's like, oh yeah, well you don't know that what is it, Company 8? Like we do the nude calendar every year. And she's like, does that make a lot of money? And he's like, oh, well you must not be from around here. It sells like crazy. And she's like, oh, I might have to get in on that. But she's all about making that money. So Gold finally goes down. I think it was awesome. I think it was a great fight. I think it was pretty sick, but we're not getting into everything else, right? I'd love to go back to Shinra and Joker. That's the fight I think we're all waiting for, and we got to talk about that. But when Arthur shows up, it kind of threw me off because Gold goes down, she's dead, sick scene. Lieutenant shoots her in the goddamn head. The nice bullseye she had waiting for them, awesome, just so cool. And this dude pulls up and he's got wind, right? He uses heat and flames to kind of create these like whirlwinds, you know what I mean? And that he uses. And it's like, okay, this is really cool because it's different than what we're used to. And he seems like he's gonna be broken, right? They're like instantly like, yo, he's really fast. Like we can't deal with him. Even the science guy's like, yo, I can't keep up. Like I can't study him. Like he's moving way too fast. And then all of a sudden, he there was a slash and he's like, he backs up and he's like, whoa, like what was that? And Arthur just pulls the fuck up. He just walks in, just like, guys, I got that aura, right? And then just kills him. Just straight up in one shot kills him. And you're like, yeah, like, is he a delusional moron that we absolutely adore and love? Yeah, Yeah, he's also that guy. You know what I mean? He's also that guy. Like, that was one of the sickest things ever, and it also just goes to show, especially with their fight with Gold, just how far above he is from everybody else. Like, he really is in a league of his own.
And it's nice that we kind of got that. Like
Mm-hmm.
him and Shinra are, they're our boys. Like they should be like a step above everybody else. And like very, very sick entrance. And I thought of you because I was dying. You're like, oh yeah, did you catch that frame where he falls off the truck and like you can see his leg? And that's literally how they announced it. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I fell off my horse. Very funny, classic humor. I was like kind of annoyed. We got like absolutely zero movement on like Burns and Shinra. Like they were in there for
Yeah.
like a couple scenes, but like you don't want to like overpace it, but they did a really good job of like actually showing Squad 8. That was like a really good fight. They adapted Gold. It's kind of like a pain in the ass set of abilities, and like they totally adapt and run with it, and they win. I can't remember the science dude's name. It's like something Germanish, I think.
We gotta write down all the names again. That's the problem. Whenever an anime
Dude,
comes
I
back,
know.
it's like all the side characters. We gotta write them down. We gotta relearn them. Dude, there's just too many animes and too many characters. You know what I mean?
So true. And I feel bad because he was really sick. Like
Mm-hmm.
how he analyzes Gold's abilities, but then also like the applicable science, like real world science behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about like ferrous metals and how he's using heat to like heat up wind and like make vacuums and whirlwinds. I'm like, damn, this is actually cool as fuck. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a badass character that has like no powers. Like very well done. And like, they all work together and shit. Like they did a good job of showing the side characters as like very competent and like viable characters these last like two episodes.
Yeah, like you said, that fight perfectly encompasses all of the strengths of their team. You know what I mean? Everyone's strengths really showed, and they came together and were able to get the dub. And yeah, you're absolutely right because it's like, okay, well, this is an anime about powers, right? It's like, oh, well, what kind of powers does everyone have? Well, everyone's powers all revolve around fire and heat. Okay, that must be boring as fuck. Like, how many different types of powers, how many different things can you make with that when you think about it? And like you said, when you make it like real, like applicable, you know what I mean? You kind of have it based off like real life sciences. Like, okay, when you start mixing stuff, like you can actually come up with a lot of different things, right? Like with Gold and her magnetic fields, with who's the is it District One, the guy with the eye patch? But either way, like with his
Mm,
powers, you have with the magnetic, with the other girl, the redhead girl. There's so many different things that really kind of come together, and you take one basic thing of just heat and fire. That's what everyone's powers are based around. It has so many different ways that it's actually like transmitted. I think that is so cool.
yeah, that's part of what makes Fire Force so unique and cool. Like they really dive deep into that and explore it. And then even just the simple stuff like Joker, you know what I mean? Badass character. My man's got some playing cards, you know what I mean? Just making them out of fire. All that shit is really cool. But
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of just like they're upping the design. Like Shinra like loaded up his feet and they had those like wings or like I couldn't really tell what it was, but they have the you know what I mean? Like these like
Yeah.
fucking things coming out his feet. It seems like they're like obviously they are getting stronger. They just trained in Asakusa, but it's kind of cool to see it as well as like obviously experience it. Like Arthur one-shotting dude.
That again was seriously one of the coolest things ever. Like Arthur popped the fuck off. But that is the cool thing though with Shinra and Joker is that you're right. Like we didn't get any movement fight wise. You know what I mean? Nothing really transpired there except for at the end when Obi was infected. What is up with that?
Ooh, yeah, that was like tough because basically like we don't get any movement on that fight, and then he's like, "Yeah, Shinra, you suck. Like none of your dreams are gonna come true," and they just poison Obi or put that bug in him, which
Which is apparently
kind of feel.
guaranteed death.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like that would really suck to get rid of Obi as a character like that. I could see them, like everything working out like a happy ending type situation, but that would be a crazy turn of events if they had to like kill him if he goes berserk and turns into whatever and like they have to take him down.
So here's the thing. I could be wrong about this because it's been a minute since I've seen the earlier seasons. I'm pretty sure they keep infecting people with the bugs, trying to get the person to transform. Like it's a catalyst
Yeah.
in trying to get someone to evolve, right? Because there's different levels to the powers, right? Like the more evolved it is, like the later generations you're able to do more with these said powers, and they're trying to infect people with the bugs to unlock a new one. I'm guessing Obi's either dead, which we don't think so because in anime before you die you need to have the flashbacks, right? We didn't get any flashbacks. Obi's
Yeah,
not
true.
dead, right? And Wait, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's how we know Obi's not dead. But that just leaves one option left, where Obi's going to be the first success out of this entire series, out of like 2 seasons and now the third season. Obi's gonna be the first one that like it actually is gonna succeed and he's gonna transform in. I cannot wait to see. I'm assuming, right? Because what else can there be? If he just like survives it, it just feels weird. So I can't wait to see like what happens to him afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I mean, I don't really know, how it goes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if Obi lives or dies, but that would be a really good plot twist if he's the first to survive and like comes up with some crazy new powers like they're trying to implement. I think that would be a good twist, and then Squad 8 has to take him down. You know what I mean? Alongside Burns, which I feel like that would be emotionally very heavy and kind of traumatizing for Shinra. So I don't really see it going that way, but
Well, I thought you'd
definitely
evolve and
building
just
up
be
to be fun.
normal, bro. What's up with you being like, no, they have to turn against them? Why does he have to be evil?
Well, like he's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? He's
He
like
might not, though. That's what
infected
I'm
with that.
saying.
Nah, because I just don't have that much hope. I feel like it's got to be bad for Shinra, but then like it could not be, because like you said, Burns is kind of like a father figure to him.
Yeah.
So to have to fight him and like kill Obi, kill both of them, I don't know if Shinra's there yet. That would be a tall task.
So you're going for the chaotic side of it, right? He's gonna get infected, become this
Yeah.
thing that everyone's got to fight. It's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be this whole new monster. I'm like, dude, he's gonna evolve and become a beast. He's gonna be on their side. He's gonna be like, Shinra, let's fuck this old dude up. Shinra's gonna be like, fuck yeah, bro. They're gonna kick some ass and then have a picnic. They'll live happy ever after. That's what I'm thinking. But that just kind of goes to show there's just so many different avenues that they can take from this one thing, and that's gonna be awesome. Like, there's so many different ways that they can go with this, and dude, season 3, it's gonna be sick. It's such an awesome start as well.
Dude, great start. Kind of a slow burn, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of really good build up so far. And I feel like, yeah, especially this next episode, but the next two are going to be huge for kind of the direction of the season.
Yeah, I completely agree. And again, like Windbreaker, the next couple episodes are really going to dictate the pace and the direction for the rest of the season. Hopefully, we're going to be getting into the new gang that they're going to be fighting. But this episode was awesome. It was really enjoyable. We've been waiting for this. A nice slice of life back at home with the boys. We were talking about that literally last episode. We would love Windbreaker to be 24 episodes because it feels like it needs more time where it has a more slice of life. It's not just constant fighting. You know what I mean? It's not just 5 episodes of fight scenes and combat. You know what I mean? Like when they're back at home and they're hanging out with the class and everything like that, like it's sick. Like this is the first time we've seen Tachibana since like what, episode 5 of season 1. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's been a whole last season. That just kind of goes to show how we haven't had that. You know what I mean? How we haven't had this kind of the heading back, chilling, and just having a good ep, and that's what exactly I think we had this week.
Dude, it's super good. I feel like we got a lot with Sakura, which
Mm-hmm.
I feel like was extremely well done before I get too far into that. But yeah, it was nice kind of seeing some old characters. Tachibana, we hadn't seen Hiragi, so far this season do anything. Him and Umamiya just kind of kicking it like they like they do.
Yes, that is
Always
true.
eating. But it was really cool to see how Kaji tried to use the same like approach and same like words and phrases that Hiragi used with him, just trying to be like a good upperclassman. So I thought that was kind of cool. And it's slice of life-ish, but like it really makes you appreciate like the cast and how they like kind of take care of Sakura, because Sakura's he's got some serious trauma. You know what I mean? His place was fucked up. Definitely not a place a young 15-year-old boy should be living. But
Yeah.
it kind of goes to show you why like Sakura's like weird and quirky and emotionally kind of like, I don't know if immature is the word. I mean, he's still got obviously some growth to do, but why he is the way he is, especially emotionally, and the
Yeah.
fact that he's got some pretty sick hands already.
Damn, that is absolutely true. Like, I thought one of the things that was really, really funny about this episode is that they're a bunch of like delinquents. You know what I mean? All they do is fight and fuck people up. We just got 3 episodes of them beating the fuck out of people with bats that had barbed wire on them, right? And then we come back and like, oh my god, Sakura's sick? Like he's got a cold? Like guys, get the goodies, right? We gotta get him water. He's gotta stay hydrated. We gotta get him food and some snacks. I'm like, bro, like weren't they just beating the fuck out of people? Like didn't they just leave a warehouse full of bodies? You know what I mean? And this like
Yes.
someone gets a cold and like guys, this is Like, this is the most important thing we got on the agenda right now. They were so worried. I think that kind of shit was just so funny. It was like such like a clash, a contradiction. But like they are like obviously they're good guys. You know what I mean? They fight to protect the town and to protect people. You know what I mean? So of course they're gonna care about Sakura and them going and visiting him and just being like, yo, like you live here. Was absolutely insane. And again, that brings us back to season 1 where we kept bringing up that like, dude, does this guy not have a family? Because he makes no mention of them ever. And we're like, we're pretty sure he might just be on his own here. Now it is confirmed that, yeah, after, again, a season later, we end up finding out that, yeah, Sakura is here completely by himself. There's no mention of any family of any sort, you know what I mean? He's just living alone in this, beat up apartment, for one. And it was like, it kind of just shows where he's come from, you know what I mean? Or at least a taste of it, you know what I mean? At least a little sneak peek of what we're going to get into with Sakura.
Yeah, and like at least from what I've read in the manga, we still haven't really got his backstory or what's up with his family or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I did read like there was a bunch of scenes in season 1 apparently that alluded to him being through like multiple foster homes and like nobody ever wanted him. You know what I mean? He could never like hold any like permanent residence because nobody wanted him. I guess it's
Mm-hmm.
still kind of unexplained, but I mean, even if you take a look at his apartment, he literally has like nothing, no TV, he doesn't have like books and shit like normal 15-year-olds would have. I don't really think they go to school. I feel like they're just hanging out at Fear and Hive.
I'm waiting to see
You know,
if there's
there's
a
no text,
teacher. I'm waiting to see if there's
there's
like,
no textbooks,
yeah.
no homework, no teachers. So like, my man's definitely not studying. But yeah, it was kind of it was cool to see like where soccer has come this far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, like likes Furin, but yeah, my man's definitely down bad. He's got nobody in his corner besides the guys from Furin now.
Yeah. That's one thing I even thought about this episode. I'm like, do they just hang out in class all day? They even talked about like we're on lunch right now. He's like yeah, yeah. We're like maybe slept in. He's like, dude, it's lunchtime already. It's like, wait, are you guys like learning? Or you just literally
Right?
going to school, hanging out in class all day, and then having like, a scheduled lunch? Like,
Like, bro, and nobody's ever got a pencil on them. I've never seen somebody
no.
carry around a book or a book bag or a pencil. Like, what are we doing at school here? What did we learn today?
The chalkboard just has sick art on it. No one's like writing up math problems on there. You know what I mean? I want to know what actually goes on during the day at Furin, bro. We need to know because
uh,
it's a mystery.
I'm trying to apply to be a Furin teacher. Obviously, don't have to do any work. You're grading no papers. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig.
All there is just make sure they have lunch on a certain time, and you're good. You're good. They can just roam the halls. It doesn't matter.
Easy. I'd be invested in the fights. You'd be like the teacher in the stands, like, woo.
You're doing the bets. You're dealing with the betting odds and everything.
Yeah, you're teaching these high schoolers how to gamble. It's like, all right, you're gonna take a fall for a little bit of money, but we'll have Kaji back you up.
Dude, so funny. But that was awesome when they went. You even said you're like, dude, he's got like no TV, nothing like that. He just got a phone. Like he didn't even have a phone. Like they even said it. They're like, if you got lost, what would you do? He's like, oh, get my phone and look at the maps. He's like, okay, well, what if someone like just gave you something like new? You know what I mean? And you didn't know to do that. And he's like, that's what's happening with like Sakura, where like he never had a phone until I think the first couple episodes. Like he started out like the season without one, and they someone ended up giving him one. But so it's like he doesn't know to pick it up and to like text your buddies and be like, yo man, I'm sick. You know what I mean? He doesn't think of that. He doesn't think that people are gonna be hitting him up, like, hey man, like where are you? Like you okay? Like you doing all right? So like that's a very interesting thing, and that actually could kind of like make sense for like when it comes to like the foster homes. Because I feel like a foster home wouldn't invest in that. Like if he had a family, they'd probably give him a phone so they know where he is, right? But if he's in a foster home, they're not gonna invest that kind of shit into him. You know what I mean? Especially if he's going to like the bad ones that it seems like it is. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And again, it kind of adds more to like, oh, like this is Sakura. I don't think they're gonna get too much into it because we already kind of got his backstory, like getting made fun of for different color hair, stuff like that. But I feel like it just helps explain Sakura, and it kind of like shows where the grit of him comes from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, and they do a good job of doing that without going into too much detail and like going over the
Mm-hmm.
top. Like, you're right, we do kind of know his backstory and like foster home or not or whatever the situation is. It doesn't really matter about his parents or anything. They didn't want
Mm-hmm.
him. You know what I mean? He's like a weird looking kid with two color hair and two color eyes. Like they didn't want him, so it's kind of irrelevant. Like, people still talk about like Luffy's mom in One Piece. Like, does it really matter at this point? You know what I mean? It's not always like that applicable to the plot.
I
But
think the
yeah, it's
fact that
really
they're
cool to.
not there is it says everything. You know what I mean? That's what explains it. He's not used to having anybody to rely on and to be there for him and to take care of him. And he even says that like I take care of myself. Like no one ever takes it. Like I don't need anybody. Like I'm fine. I just need to sleep it off.
Yeah, like he is kind of used to this already, which, yeah, at this point it doesn't really matter. But I know in the future events, I think after this arc, just because I know the villain they saw at the end of episode 2 or 3, um, he's like one of the main antagonists of this upcoming arc. I don't know how far they'll get into it in this season, but we get a lot of backstories with like Kiryu, Sugashita, kind of his backstory and stuff, and it's not all like family stuff, but you get kind of how they got to Furin and where they're going, why they're, feel the way they do, all that shit. So in the future.
Different flavors of trauma. They all got different things from different aspects. It seems like.
Yeah, and like everybody has that one like upperclassman that kind of helped them, or like that one friend or classmate that like helped them lock in and like, yeah, shit might suck at home, but like, you got responsibility to be a good person here and, help them feel better and teach them.
I always like that. That anime focuses on that. You know what I mean? Because it always kind of focuses on like everyone's got that story. It's just how to make the best of it. You know what I mean? And it seems like Windbreaker's another one of the animes that just keeps focusing on that. Like that's one thing I loved about Naruto is that every fucking person had every excuse to be a villain. You know what I mean? Like there's so many of those moments with Kakashi, especially when what's his face? Sasuke is just like, oh, what if I take everyone you love and kill them in front of you? Like, what would you do then? Would you still be and with a smile, he's like, everyone you're talking about's already dead, and it's like, oh, you feel like shit, don't you, bud? You feel like you talking to the wrong person there. So like I love when they do stuff like that because I feel like it has more like purpose to it. You know, it sends more of a message. And I love how like Wimberger's going to get into that, especially like it's not like the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot of different like aspects and different perspectives and situations. So the fact that they're going to get more into the backstories, I absolutely love. I think that that's going to be incredible. I love the whole scene with Kaji. That talk was awesome, and you can kind of tell it kind of seemed out of character. He kind of seemed like in the beginning he didn't know, like he was just following the like instructions. But he just grabs the card, he's like, "Here, take this, follow me." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is this actually you do it? Like, oh, and then at the end, yeah, it happened. Okay, all right, it makes sense now.
And he has to like pause and think of like what he's gonna say to respond, so it's like a little awkward. I thought that was really funny, but it was really cool because yeah, it's not Kaji's personality.
Yeah, Kaiji doesn't know how to handle it. Kaiji is like part Sakura, you know what I mean? Which is why I think Kaji's the best upper. I think that was such a like sick thing. Was that Kaji was his upperclassman because we met so many, you know what I mean? And you think Umamiya would be it, you know what I mean? Because Umamiya is the guy that Sakura wants to be, right? But Kaji fits perfectly to like mentor him, but he's the same fucking way in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? So I like how that was like a nice little surprise where like you meet a ton of people, you meet a ton of the upperclassmen. Kaji was never the one that you thought would kind of step up and kind of be the one that Sakura kind of like leans on. So I'm like really liking that like friendship, that relationship that they got. It's awesome.
Yeah, super good. And like kind of like Umamiya said, I think at the end of season 1, like there's a lot of good upperclassmen and like they'll set you up for success and to be that leader in the future, which I think is really cool. But it'll be interesting, like you said, this next episode or two to see how they pace it. Because if we're only getting 12 or 13 episodes, like I don't know how deep they'll be able to get into this arc without, or like just setting it up versus like actually getting into some of the fights and stuff.
Yeah, and it's awesome because I hope we keep having cool moments like this as well too. On top of like all the badass fights, I mean the whole interactions with Tachibana was sick. Seeing them together again was awesome. It's really funny. I remember like in the first episode, Sakura showed up to like the diner in his uniform, right? Like a day before school started, right? And she made fun of him, oh, look at you excited? Is that where you're wearing your uniform ready? But like low key, when she went to his apartment and like was taking care of him, like I think that's all he had. Like, because he was wearing his like t-shirt and like underwear, and then like his pants and jacket were hung up, and I didn't see any other clothes around. I'm like, Tachibana, like don't make fun of our boy. Like I'm pretty sure that's all he's got to wear. Like that's fucked. Like kicking our boy when he's down, it's insane.
And like I think she finally sees it when she goes over, like, wow, you know what I mean? He really doesn't have anything. But yeah, my man has like 2 hangers, the jacket, the pants, and that was it. Bro has nothing in the crib.
Dude,
no wardrobe.
I respect it though. I respect it. If he's comfortable, he's comfortable. But that just means that we're gonna have the Sakura Tachibana shopping date at some point. That is gonna end up being an episode.
Dude, I can already see his face, like trying on normie clothes, and she's like putting different stuff on him. Very much looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Every time he gets a compliment, he's like, it's like a crit hit, dude. That's still his kryptonite. Is saying something nice to him. That dude can take a punch to the face. He can get hit in the face with a bat, right? Second, and he just gets up, just walks it off, just spits the blood out. You know, you like, hey Sakura, you're a great guy. Done, KO'd.
Yeah.
He's out. He's I'm good.
Immediately blushing and like flustered, 100%.
Absolutely. And then the last thing, Kaji knocking out Umamiya, just amazing.
So good.
I loved it.
And then he gets like all embarrassed. He like runs away. Umamiya's like cracking up. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Bro, that was so funny because he just knocks Umamiya out, just fucks him up. Umamiya gets up with like a bloody nose. He's like, that was a great fucking hit. Like, he's getting stronger.
It's so good. Just like soccer, he gets so embarrassed because he was like being a good friend, being there for his underclassmen. Too funny.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fights. I think they're beautifully choreographed. The animation's sick. We need more of these scenes, these moments, these interactions between the guys just back at school. You know what I mean? They're just too good.
Yeah, and like it kind of feels like they only really do it like before and after a fight. Like we don't really get that much downtime in between. So maybe we will these next couple episodes, but I feel like they'll probably like find a way to introduce the villain or some kind of event. You know what I mean? Will take place to kind of push the arc forward.
Yeah.
That's my guess, at least.
I mean, I hope so. Because I'm locked in. I'm ready. I'm excited. Definitely slower episode, but it delivered in so many ways. It was fucking awesome. So enjoyable. I mean, next week we gotta, expand what we're gonna be talking about. Because we gotta rotate. I mean, we have so many stuff to talk about. I mean, Kowloon, we gotta talk about that next week. That's starting to really heat up. That's getting really good. Like, there's a lot. Goku Loser Ranger has been solid. Like, I'm excited. The season has been surprising. Has been good. And we talked about it before we started recording. Like, we just have to cherish what little free time we have because next season is gone.
Dude, and all these animes that are running into summer, like To Be Hero X and stuff.
Yes, and possibly
that's
Fire
crazy.
Force. We still have no idea. We heard 24, we heard 12. It's going to be a gamble.
Yeah, right. Now I'm super excited. It's been like a really good season, even though like we thought it was going to be chill coming into it, but it's awesome. I think Windbreaker, the different kind of pace as opposed to season one is really nice. And just everything's kind of hitting, man. It's definitely been an awesome start to spring.
Yeah.
Yo, and Kowloon, crazy cliffhanger this week. Insane.
Bro, that's the one I didn't like. I didn't watch it yet. I didn't watch it. I'm not caught up, so
You'll love it.
right after
You'll
this,
love it.
right after we're done, I'm instantly watching it. I'm so excited, dude, because that's been so good, and that's what I'm really excited about this season. Is not only is it like not what we expected, it's all the like we were looking forward to T-Bait. We're like, oh, this is gonna pop off. This is gonna be insane. It has its problems, right? It's all the animes that we had no idea existed that are coming in, and it's like, yo, this is fucking insane. We didn't hear of Kowloon before this season started. To Be Hero X, both of them have been nothing but phenomenal. Goku Loser Ranger, we knew about it. We even made a video about it after season one. We're like, this is amazing. People need to watch this. That's been really good too. That's been way better than the first season was. Like, it's off to a phenomenal start. There's so many animes that are just like, oh, oh, we weren't expecting you to be so good. This is incredible. It's great.
100%. I mean, I feel like you could say this about any season, but we're like pretty avid fans. But you could literally pick almost any of the like popular anime out right now from this season and hit an absolute gem. So I would hope people are checking some of the new stuff out because there are some big titles. One Piece started back up and that's definitely been sick. So like hopefully they don't get overshadowed by the big stuff, and new fans are still able to catch some of these premieres because you hit the nail on the head. You're like, when have premieres ever been this like consistently good and deliver so well? I can't remember a time. So check out something new if you haven't.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, there's premieres that drop that are flopping, I think there's been one this season, I think. I think there might have been one. We don't talk about it.
Tough luck.
We don't talk about it. Okay, no, but like that's the thing that like it's like these premieres, like a lot of them are outshining established animes, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. It's also like a good sign because it means people are getting into new stuff. You know what I mean? People are actually looking at the new stuff coming out instead of just following the My Hero Academia type of stuff. It's like awesome. Like people are expanding their portfolios. So it's awesome. There's still so much stuff coming out that's going to be premiering this season, this year. I'm really excited about it. The end of this year looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, low-key, I want to just skip to the end of the season. I really do. So I want to first of all get to the end of a lot of these seasons and kind of just be like, okay, like what happens? Like they seem so intriguing, so good. And again, the start of the next season is going to be like just disgustingly good. It's like going to be awful. Like ugh, I don't even. I'm gonna go broke buying merch, bro. I've bought so many. Like, bro, we got the Kuro Sensei, we got the Sakamoto Days poster in the back. Like, I got a JJK shirt on the way. Like, bro.
They got you, bro. Hey, I can't. I got nothing to say. I have figures and shit everywhere. So, welcome aboard.
Awesome. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like I even said it before. I feel like a lot of these new series have been so good because they're also so like marketable. It's so easy to fall in love with the animation, the art style, the story, the characters. You're designing a whole bunch of cool shit for them. Like, I feel like not only has anime gotten better, but the merch has gotten better. You know what I mean? The posters, the figures. The figures are probably also getting cheaper for like how the great quality they are. The t-shirts. I mean, like the amount of anime t-shirts that are out there and how sick the designs are. It's like, yo, like anime as a whole has gone to the next level.
Absolutely, and I think that's why it's so popular now. Like, as somebody who grew up on like Naruto and Toonami, and like you had limited access. To see it get this big, and then like you have merch of any kind, you have video games, like it really has gone to another level, and I couldn't be happier. Plus, it's well deserved. It's not like a lot of these animes don't deserve the praise and like global popularity they get. They definitely do.
Yeah, and one last thing before we call it quits here to speak on that and to make you happy a little bit. There's another anime coming home to Tsunami, Bleach.
Ooh. Are they really getting Bleach back?
Yep, Bleach is apparently coming back. Thousand Year Blood War is going to be ending on it. Which is a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because, to be fair, Lazarus is on it and none of us can fucking watch it, so...
Right, and like, I don't know if Disney bought the rights to, like, the streaming service, because it's not on Crunchyroll, Thousand Year Blood War, so... I mean, I do have Hulu because I use my parents for free. But yeah, I would be really bummed if people couldn't watch that because it's blocked. I want to say no, but I'm not 100% sure because I'd be able to watch it anyway. You know what I mean?
So I think it's just another way to watch it because the thing is, I'm pretty sure Disney bought Bleach. I'm pretty sure they own Bleach. I don't think they just gave up the rights that quick. But like Hulu, I mean, Disney also partly owns Hulu, which is why it's on Hulu as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
I think they're also
would make sense.
Yeah, I think they're also just giving the license as well to Tsunami to kind of be like it's back on Adult Swim. You know what I mean? Like Disney still owns it, but it's allowed to be streamed on something that isn't Disney related. You know what I mean? So people who have just that are able to watch it now.
That's actually really sick because that is going to be an incredible ending. I want to say season 4 is probably the end of it. I'm not 100% sure, but Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War. Incredible.
I've been watching it. I'm blown away. Like it really is just a different breed. It's fucking the fights, like the fights. It's holy shit. Like it's everything any Bleach fan has ever asked for and 1,000% more. Like it's incredible.
So good, dude. I couldn't recommend it enough. Like I love the old Bleach, but seeing like the leap in I guess just technology and like animation and stuff is so satisfying.
Mm-hmm. But it's been incredible, guys. We hope you guys are having a great rest of your week. We hope you guys are enjoying all the anime that has been dropping. We hope you guys are ready for summer because summer is going to be a disaster. And I seriously don't think anybody can be displeased with the summer season because it has depth in every fucking genre. So I hope you guys are ready. And that's it. Have a great rest of your week, guys. And see you next week.